What's going on, guys? It's Mr. Affleck9916, and welcome back to the MLB 16, the show, Road to the Show. We have made it to the 20s. That's right, it's 2020 now, and we are starting spring training, playing against the Seattle Mariners, and we are going to get our spring training started off really well. I'll spoil it now. We strike out the side in this first game, and that's lots of what's going to happen for the rest of the spring, but right now, guys, I'm sure most of you are watching the World Series. As I am talking, the Cleveland Indians have a 2-1 series lead over the Chicago Cubs. Game 4 is tonight, though, so who knows what's going to happen then. If the Indians win, it looks like they'll probably win the series. If the Cubs win, it's basically a best of 3, and it could go either way. So for the Cubs, it's pretty much a must-win ball game tonight. I think it's going to be pretty good. And in my opinion, I think the Cubs are going to win. In fact, I think this is going to go to Game 7. Who's going to win that Game 7? That could be a toss-up, could go either way. Of course, the game would be in Cleveland if there was a Game 7 because the Indians have home field advantage because the All-Star game. But that's kind of that. Also, MLB 17, the show has been announced. I think Ken Griffey Jr. is on the cover. So I'm going to probably do a video going over some of the new features in MLB 17 and all that. Just not yet, once a little bit more gets released. Also, speaking of MLB 17, if you guys haven't commented your suggestions for what you want in MLB 17, please go to my video. I think it was 1 or 2 episodes ago, and write those down now because I want to get that video up. I was going to do it during the spring training, but I didn't, so now I'm going to have to do it over regular season footage, and that video will probably be another week from now because I've only had like 5 comments, which is actually surprising. But please go to that video and comment the stuff you want to see in MLB 17, the show. That way I can make a video with all of your comments, and hopefully the people over in San Diego, well, not San Diego, Padres, San Diego studios where they make MLB the show. Hopefully the people there will take a look at it and, you know, consider putting some of our suggestions in. There's still about 6 months till the game comes out, so they still have, even though they've already announced the game, they still have plenty of time to make changes to it and stuff like that before it comes out. So that's pretty much that. Back to the series, as you guys saw, I kind of had a bad appearance against the Seattle Mariners right there. They scored a run against me. Luckily, the Padres still won the game, but we do blow our first save of the spring. Hopefully, that'll be the only save we blow all spring. I'm sure there will be 1 or 2 more, but playing against the Rockies in our next game, and you guys know how the Rockies have gone against me. I looked, as I catch a pop-up there, that's kind of an odd play, but I looked at the statistics before this game, and I think my ERA against the Rockies is like 11. I'm not kidding, it's literally like 11. I play so bad against this team in the couple years that I've been in the MLB. They just hit home runs off of me, they get walks off of me, and then just maybe some luck. Stuff like that, that should have been an out. Instead, my fielder missed it with his glove, so he couldn't make the diving play. And there's a runner on first. Next Rocky batter comes in. I throw that changeup outside. I've been working on that pitch a lot. I've thrown it a lot more, and it's working pretty well for me. I'd say I now throw it regularly, just as much as my other pitches. I love having it. As you see, I get the next batter to swing and miss on it. Now we have 2 outs. We needed that strikeout really bad because there were 2 outs and 2 runners on. Next batter comes in. He hits it to right field, and we will make the catch, and we get the save and win the ball game 4-1. So a nice job by Jack Davis. After, you know, a bad game against Seattle and then 2 runners on, his momentum could have really fallen apart right there, but instead he does a good job. Into our next practice session, where we have the bronze medal until the very last batter. With 1 chance left, they hit a double to left field, and that could get us out of the medal range. Will it or won't it? Nope. We do just hang on to the bronze medal. I think we probably had like 10 or 20 points over what we needed because we probably lost a good 150 points there. But we get the 100 training points. I cannot stress how important those are. If you get a gold medal with 400 training points, and sometimes 1 pitch can be the difference between only getting 200 training points and getting 400 training points. It's insane. But it's so hard to get the gold at the top level because, you know, you're facing off against your 3 best players on the team, and you need 1,500 points, which is a lot of points. It's very difficult in those training sessions to get the gold medals, but I know like they seem boring in the episodes and all that, but they're even more important for training points than the actual games that you play. So that, you know, they're absolutely crucial, and I guess that's a good thing because that's how real sports are, you know. Real sports, giving it 100 in practice, you're gonna get better by doing that. You know, your actual raw skills more than you are playing in games. That'll get you experience, but raw skills is going to come from those countless hours of practice that athletes do. As you see, we have a quick inning against Arizona, and finish out that game. We win 8-2, so it wasn't a save for us. We led by way too many runs. But into our next game, playing against one of the 2 World Series teams, the Cleveland Indians, and that's going to be the quickest game in the world. Pretty much like one pitch and double play. So that's a really quick save, one of the quickest saves you'll ever see possible. And then we'll head to our next game, which, as you're about to see in a second, is actually going to be against the Chicago Cubs. So we actually play both of the teams in the World Series, and we play them back-to-back. Hopefully we'll have a good finish against this game to the Cubs. We're tied 1-1 in the ninth, trying to get the win. First Cubs batter is going to pop it to left field. Our third baseman will range back and make the catch. Ooh, a little bit farther deep to the left. That's like where Steve Bartman territory was. I'm sure Cubs fans have that on their mind. They don't want another curse to happen, don't they? The stuff that's happened to the Cubs over their 100-year losing streak, they've had more bad luck than any team. It's just unimaginable. I don't believe in curses or anything, but you have to admit, it's kind of spooky, all the stuff that's happened to that team with the GOAT, Steve Bartman. They have like 11 different curses. I was reading some article on ESPN. It's kind of funny, but I am rooting for the Cubs, if I didn't mention that already, because the Indians are rivals with my favorite team, the Minnesota Twins, and also the White Sox and Cubs are big rivals, and obviously I don't like the White Sox, and the reason for that is they're rivals with the Twins as well. So because of that, you know, I kind of found myself rooting for Chicago in this World Series, and that's just my opinion. I mean, I'm not like super caring about it as to which team wins, but I would prefer to see the Cubs win than Cleveland win. I don't want Cleveland to win another championship too. They just won their basketball, and it would be nice to, you know, kind of mix it up a little bit. This has been like, I live in Ohio, but I'm not really fans of any of the Ohio sports teams because, as some of you guys know, I really live in Pennsylvania, but I go to college in Ohio, so I spend more, it's debatable where I live, I guess, but I spend more time in Ohio than I do in PA, and it gets kind of annoying listening to everyone talking about how great the Cleveland teams are this year, and I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't really care about those teams. You just get sick of all the people talking about it when they're not any teams that you root for. So I guess I'm kind of being a traitor to my state a little bit right now. But that being said, since I'm from Pittsburgh, maybe it would make sense for me to root against any team from Cleveland, right? But I don't know. I'm just rambling on. Back to the game, because that's what this episode is supposed to be about. It's 15 minutes long, right? Sometimes this spring training crap gets kind of boring, as that was almost a home run against me. We're playing the Rockies yet again. They now have runners on second and third with only one out. So once again, playing the Rockies, and they're putting more guys on base. So I'm lucky that wasn't a 2-run home run right there. This team is nothing but a disaster for Jack Davis, even in spring training. Next batter comes in. We're going to throw a changeup, and he's going to foul that one off. So it's 0-2. We're going with the fastball, trying to strike him out. We need the strikeout, and we get it. 100 miles an hour on the fastball. He swings and misses, and there's now 2 gone. 1-0 count. We're going to throw a sinker low and away. Here's the pitch. This one's going to be lined into right field. This one will be caught. Luckily, it was straight to the right fielder, and that gives us the win. The Rockies could have won that game if it wasn't for that. They could have scored 2 runs, but luckily they don't. Gonna add some training points now. We've earned them, and we are going to improve our walks per 9. Still an 81 overall on our statistics, trying to get to an 82 or 83 by the end of spring. And then our next training session is just a pitch location one. Those ones are a little easier. We get the silver medal, and that's 200 training points. So that's what we like to see from Jack Davis right there, picking up 200 training points instead of 100. Those extra 100 are really, really nice. And I love the pitch location ones because you throw 20 pitches and it doesn't take that long, you know? There's no plays, there's nothing fancy, it's just throwing pitches. And you can get a lot of training points for 3.5 minutes of throwing pitches. It's pretty nice. I will say that. So, playing against the Reds, we're going to get a ground out and a strikeout. This inning's going pretty fast. This is how a lot of our spring training's gone, as you guys have seen. Next batter, he's going to hit this on the ground, shortstop field goes first. And that's the game. We win, we get the save, and we continue to just steamroll ourselves on in this spring training, improving our hits per 9x1, and that finally gets us to an 82 overall. So, we're finally just starting to get up in, like, decent player ratings. I want to get to a 90. That's my goal. It's going to be tough to get all the way to a 90, though, because, well, that's 8 points, and I'm already 26. I think there's maybe 4 more years where I can really, really grow quick. And then once you reach 30, I think the growing, begins to slow down a little bit. I hope it doesn't, but that's just kind of what I think it's going to do. And then once you get to, like, 32, 33, maybe then is when it'll start to slowly decrease, and once you reach like 35, 36, I think it'll really start to decrease quite a bit. So when do I retire though? That's way down the road. My goal is, my number one goal is to win a World Series in my career. My number two goal is to, make the Hall of Fame, or, set the all-time saves record or something like that. If I can really develop this year, get up to 85 or over 86, that'd be 3 or 4 points in 1 year. I'd be 27 next year, starting the years in 86. That'd be a lot better, because then maybe, the chance of getting to a 90 or above would be realistic. And that's what I'm hoping I'll be able to do. I don't know if I'll ever be like a 99 overall. That's going to be really tough to get there. I just, I started when I was 22. I probably shouldn't have done that, but I didn't like where I got drafted. I also didn't like that I got drafted by a national, so I went to college for 4 years. Do I regret that decision? Yeah, maybe, maybe not. I mean, it's hard to tell. I don't think they really gave us quite enough training points, but that's why, when I earned stubs from this road to the show, I'm using them on training points. I have about 700 some right now. Once I get to 1,000, I'm going to buy training points. I'm probably just going to keep doing that my entire career, because I feel like 4 years, you cannot really make up for enough training points. Those are literally probably 10,000 training points that I lost out on at least. So that's what I'll do to help my player grow. Just buy as many of those as I can. But as you see, we are going to let up a double here in our second game in a row against the Texas Rangers. So they have a runner in scoring position. You take a look at that pitch. He just put it right back where it came from, up the middle. Next batter comes in. That's going to go off my ankle. Nice job by Davis making the play, throwing it to first, and that will end the game. We get the save. Into our next appearance. It's going to be another training session, and our second chance. The reason I'm showing you this is because this is what killed it. That's a long home run. That one's just going to be way gone. I thought he popped it up. The next thing I know, it's out of the ballpark. One chance left. We only have 610 points. We do strike him out, and we get up to like 860 points, but you need 1,000 to get the bronze. So that home run is the reason we got no medal. We still get 50 training points, so I mean, that's like what we'd get in a good game. So it happens. What can you do? Coming in to our 10th or 11th appearance of the year, our ERA is now under 1 as we play the Dodgers. They're going to have a high fly ball to left field. This one is deep, but it's going to be caught at the warning track. Nearly a home run right there, but we do get the out. Our ERA continues to fall. We're having a fantastic spring. Next batter comes in, and he's going to hit this one to right field. This one is high. This one is deep, and this one's going to be gone. A home run over the center field wall, and the Dodgers make it 3-1. Just the second run that Jack Davis has led up this entire spring training, and it comes on a 421-foot home run by Ramon Flores. Is that his name? I'm not really sure, but we're going to save the game. Well, we're not going to save the game. We end up losing the game, but we save our inning by getting a strikeout, and then as you see with the next batter, a ground out right to the catcher that he throws the first to end the inning. So that's been one thing, for Jack that's been really, really good, as we're going to improve our strikeouts per 9 a little bit here, getting up to a 67 overall. One thing that's been really good is when he's pitched bad, he hasn't had any meltdowns. That's been a problem in the past for him. He's pitched bad and it turns into a meltdown. And this year, he's done really well. He lets up a home run, lets up a run, and he's able to get out of the inning. Damage control. He's done very good with that. And that's the difference between an ERA below 2 and an ERA above 4 that we had last year. I think that really is the difference. We haven't had any meltdowns. We haven't had any 3-run home runs. Nothing big to really impact us statistically as we get another bronze medal in a training session. We couldn't get any silvers the entire spring. It was so frustrating because we kept becoming so close. But that's one of the reasons why we have an ERA 1.74. Also, the hits are going down. Maybe it's because I put training points towards my hits per 9. But what's happening is when players are hitting the ball, it's going straight to fielders. We're getting ground balls, we're getting routine flyouts. We're not getting a bunch of base hits when it's put in contact, and maybe that's just Jack is becoming a better pitcher. His stuff is becoming harder to hit as we get the next batter, Alt, to strike out on a sinker ball that I don't know why he didn't swing at. It was 3-2. He should have gone for that. Next batter hits it on the ground to me, and this guy's is actually going to close out our spring training. We have a great, great spring. I think our final ERA was like 1.56. We're going to look at our statistics in a minute. But that's going to be it for spring training. 11.1 innings pitched, 8 saves, 3 walks, and 10 strikeouts. So strikeouts were a little down from our normal ERA 1.59. Even though the strikeouts were a little down, we still had a really good spring. And that, guys, is going to be it for this episode. I hope you guys didn't get bored because it was a little bit long. It was 15 minutes. I had to ramble on and talk about random stuff. I can't just talk about what's going on in spring training for 15 minutes. It gets pretty boring. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you're enjoying the World Series. Who do you guys want to win? Next episode will probably not be the 17 wish list. That'll probably be in 2 episodes. Next episode, we'll start the regular season. For now, we'll see you next time. I'm Mr. Affleck, 9916. Peace.